each time I go, oh, that's what it was. But, you know, I just felt very good, very happy.
Can you tell us how far you've travelled to company sessions?
Yeah. So I've travelled quite a way. I live all the way down in Cardiff, as you can tell from my accent, Cardiff guy, and what's that, 4 hours, 3.5, 4 hours?
Yeah.
All I can say is worth it. You know, I would come travel. In fact, I'll see you in a month's time because I'm coming back up here. It's to me, you know, your health is your wealth, and it doesn't matter how far you've got to go to travel somewhere. If you feel good after it, surely that must weigh up something which is more important than, oh, it's a little bit too far. So, you know, like I said earlier on, there's 10 machines in the UK. You know, I've come to see you. You're very good at what you do. You know, the one thing which I liked when I first walked through the door, when I met you, felt like I knew you for ages.
Yeah.
And same for Kate as well. It's that nice warm feeling when you get in, and I think that's important as well. If you like the therapist, that makes it all that better. You're very welcoming, and you know, me and Michelle left a bit. You know, we didn't even leave yesterday. We talked for about 20 minutes on the drive. Yeah. You know, it was. You know, it's nice, and I think that's quite important because, you know, when you have a treatment, you want to feel that. That sort of closeness to the person you're having treatment with, and you've certainly got that, which makes you want to come back. It feels like I've known you for years, and it feels like I'm a friend of yours, but we've only just met, and I think that's quite important. So it's not just about having great treatment, it's having great people who can treat you at the same time, and you've definitely got that.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Not enough to get me oh yeah, so would you recommend PMF to somebody else?
I would 100% recommend PEMF for somebody else, just purely because, you know, it's the way it's made me feel now and the way it's picked up my old injuries. You know, there's something in that. You know, I found myself last night in the hotel looking at all different videos. Tony Robbins, for example, I'm like, you know, this guy's a legend. You know, he's always at the cutting edge of, you know, he's one of the greatest of his time in what he does. To motivate people. He's motivated, you know, the best of the best in the world, you know, from presidents right through to, you know, the A-listers, you know. So if somebody like Tony, who's really into his health, nutrition and mindset, is into it, there's something about it, you know. And I found myself last night just watching certain videos, one on him saying how great it is, and one on, it was like an hour and 20-minute video on some expert in America who's been doing it for a number of years, talking about how amazing the treatment is. So yeah, highly recommend it. You know, this is new to me. I've only just had this, and when I was lying on the bed earlier on, I said, oh, those lucky athletes who are in their 20s who could have this treatment now. I'm like, oh, I would have loved this when I was an athlete. You know, injuries coming back. You know, if it was a 6-week injury, coming back in 3. Djokovic, one of the greatest tennis players of our time, if not the greatest tennis player of all time. He has this treatment. He's actually got a machine himself. Why has he got one of these? He's the best. That's why he's got one of these.
Yeah.
So in athletics, you know, everyone thinks athletics, you watch the Olympians on TV and you go, oh, they're really serious. No, they're not. We're all just a bunch of good, fun people who just so happen to be very good at what we do. We're all the same. We're very elitist in a certain bit. Well, I remember being at the Olympic Games in 1996, and that one of the highlights of my career, and we made it to the final, and we were in lane 5 and the American team were in lane 4, and it's in America, in Atlanta, so it was a very American crowd, right? Lots of Brits in the audience, but very American. The race starts and Ewan Thomas is running around the track for Great Britain, and Ewan Thomas is coming around, you know, and all this, and I'm watching him come around, and I'm on second leg, Mark Richardson third leg, Roger Black on fourth leg, and he comes up the home straight and he gives me the relay baton, and this is my turn to shine. It's the Olympic final, 96 Olympics, we're on to do something great, and I'm running around the first curve in the Olympic final like that. The American runs past me in lane 4, and as he runs past me, he goes, oh yeah baby, oh yeah baby, oh yeah. And I'm thinking, you cheeky, like, who's this guy like? So he goes past me like that, and I go down the back straight, and he's about this far ahead of me, and I thought, you can't disrespect the British. And I went as fast as I could, as I ran past him, I went, meet, like road runner. and he went like that. And I thought, you know, sod you, mate. And I ran past him, whipped past him, and he was like really shocked because I went flat out. And I came up the home straight. He managed to get past me up the home straight, but I made that deficit up. And we ended up coming second. They were the better team, but it was amazing to go to my first Olympic Games and get a medal. You know, I was only 23 at the time. I thought I was a big man, but I was a kid. You know, like, and yeah, it's just a remarkable moment. So that's just one of the funnies, and it just shows you that, you know, when you're doing something great, it hasn't got to be serious. You know, I think you'd all agree, like in life, when you're having fun, you do things better. Yeah. And that's me. You know, if I'm like not feeling happy, I don't do things as well as when I'm happy. And this machine I've just had, it's made me feel very happy. I'm really, honestly, I'm feeling it now. I'm like, wait, hang on a sec. If I had a bottle of wine or something, I do feel I can, like, because this is my favourite treatment, right? And I'm actually sat here going, ooh, I feel really good. Yeah, it's like a buzz. I'm buzzing, yeah.
Yeah.
It's not like I've done anything to feel like this, so that machine's definitely done something. Like, what's going on? I feel like Tigger. God, I wish I could compete.
That's going to be a reel of its own, that one.
Yeah. If I could go back to being my young athlete self and tell myself about what you could do better, or just teaching people now, don't take it too serious. That would be the main thing. And the reason I say that is, when you're an athlete, and you know, I'll give you just a quick story on it. I ended up coming second in the World Championships in the individual in Paris. I should have won it. I was the fastest athlete on the planet. I ended up coming second because everything was overwhelming. And it just got to me. The fear got to me. Like, I'm second, still great, but it was second. Saw my mum and dad after that race, and they gave me a hug. Oh, well done. You know, saw the BBC, and they were like, congratulations, Jamie. But leaning back, I could tell everyone's going, oh, you didn't win it, and you should have. You know, I could feel it, right, the energy. Got on a plane to fly home after that race, about 4 hours after. Landed, got back to my apartment, and as I was in the apartment, I remember being really upset, and I had this silver medal, world silver medal, not a county championships medal, world. And I look at it, and I could suddenly hear cars outside and somebody talking outside the apartment. I went, bloody hell. I went, nobody cares. Nobody cares if I came last or if I won. The only person who really cared, the only real person, was myself. Really person. My mum and dad would have liked me to have won, but they were doing what they were doing. Everyone goes on in their life. And soon as I learned that, by making that mistake, I started laughing. I went from being upset to giggling my butt off, going, oh my God, nobody cares if I win or lose or whatever. I had 2 years later, I won the world champs by about 8 meters. I dominated it. It was the easiest race of my athletics career. And the reason I won it so easily is because I didn't care. I was on that line going, I'm the best in the world. I know I'm the best in the world. Go out and show people who this is. I had no fear.
Yeah.
Because I had taken the pressure off myself. And you know, in life, we think we're all like it, and I'm still like it to a degree, that we have this thing, you know, like, oh, I've got to do this, it's got to be finished now, and all this pressure, and you know, and no, nobody cares. And Cheryl, my partner, she's the first one to remind me on almost probably a daily basis that don't worry about it, like, you know, whatever. And that would be my advice to anyone, is just don't take it too serious. You've got another day to do it. You know, when none of us are going to make it out here alive, right? The great Denzel Washington says, you'll never see a U-Haul behind a hearse. So, meaning you'll never see a load of your wealth which you've built up in this life. You know, you're not taking it with you, right? So if you can't take anything with you, why are we taking it so serious? Like, just accept where we are, enjoy the day, try and be the best version of yourself, and that's it.